Okay, let's dive right into this, because we're looking at a web of really serious but totally unverified allegations that connect one of the world's most famous families to the whole Jeffrey Epstein case.
So this is the quote that pretty much kicked this whole thing off. It's pulled directly from an unverified victim complaint that was filed in the Ghislaine Maxwell case. It's a bombshell claim, right, directly linking Maxwell's inner circle to the Kardashians and setting the stage for a story that is, well, it's complicated, it's disturbing, and it's almost completely unproven by any official sources.
So where does all this come from? The whole story really hinges on this one single court document, an explosive victim complaint. It alleges this deep working relationship between Ghislaine Maxwell and the Kardashians, all supposedly designed to exploit the person filing the complaint.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Inside that same document, there's a crucial detail. The complainant says, in her own words, that she has never personally met Ghislaine Maxwell or any of the Kardashian-Jenner sisters. It's an admission that, you have to admit, adds a pretty big layer of complexity to her own claims.
Okay, so let's try to decode what's actually being alleged here. The complaint isn't just vague, it gets really specific, with claims that range from something deeply personal to things that are massively financial. So the first set of claims is all about identity theft, but on a really profound level. The complainant alleges her identity was used by the family. She also suggests, based on rumors she heard, that her eggs were used for pregnancies. I mean, we're talking about an alleged conspiracy of fertility and surrogacy fraud that you couldn't even begin to investigate without some serious DNA testing.
Then, the allegations take a hard pivot into the world of finance. The claim here is that the complainant's name and her money were used to promote Kardashian businesses. The document even claims there were controlled ties to one of the most famous beauty deals in, well, ever.
And if you want to understand the sheer scale of what's being claimed financially, just look at this number, $600 million. The complaint directly references that massive deal with Coty Inc. for a stake in Kylie Cosmetics. You know, the exact same deal that was all over the news for making Kylie Jenner a supposed self-made billionaire. And it goes even deeper. The document actually singles out specific sisters with these really particular accusations. It claims Kim was involved in some kind of identity competition, while alleging Khloe and Kendall took a special interest in the complainant's personal life, things like her marriages and even her name changes.
Now here's a crucial point. These allegations don't just exist in a vacuum. As the source material shows, they actually connect to a much bigger circle of public accusations that were already out there, made by other people connected to the family.
And this is where two very familiar faces enter the picture. You have Kim Kardashian's ex-husband Kanye West, who has publicly called the family sex workers and accused them of trafficking. And then you have Ray J, who has threatened to file a federal RICO case. That's a charge usually for organized crime. And he's claimed his info is worse than Diddy.
And there's another thread here, this one involving models who are close to that Kardashian-Jenner circle. In what are said to be leaked emails, Jeffrey Epstein supposedly explained the success of the Hadid sisters. And his explanation wasn't about their talent, it was a really chillingly simple phrase, because they follow directions.
All right, so now we need to take a sharp turn, because we're moving from unverified court documents and public accusations into claims that even the source material flags as speculative. We are officially entering tinfoil hat territory.
So this thread really got its start with online sleuths, people on TikTok and X. They started drawing these visual parallels between childhood drawings that Kim Kardashian shared of her daughter, Northwest, and the descriptions of a really traumatic event that were given by a verified survivor of Jeffrey Epstein.
And that connection leads us to what is, by far, the most extreme and bizarre allegation in all of this source material. A survivor, Juliet Bryant, has stated in interviews that during an assault, she actually witnessed Epstein shapeshift into what she described as a devil-like reptilian lizard creature with big black eyes.
Yeah, and the claim is so out there that the source material itself actually provides this very definition, almost like a disclaimer. It's kind of a self-aware nod to just how unbelievable this particular claim sounds to most people, even in the context of this already wild story.
So, all of this, it brings us to the central question we're looking at today. In our digital age, what actually happens when explosive, life-altering allegations like these just spread like wildfire online, completely detached from any verifiable proof?
The source material really highlights this very modern problem. These claims are everywhere on social media, but when an AI platform analyzes them, it traces everything back to a single unverified social media post.
Now, the source does add the little caveat that the AI's owner could, potentially influence its output.
And this really gets to the huge disconnect, doesn't it? Despite this massive online conversation, if you actually try to find a single solid report from an established news organization that's investigated and confirmed any of this, you'll probably come up empty. It's like there's a wall between the viral story and the verified facts.
And so we're left with this one last, pretty provocative thought. In the modern court of public opinion, which, moves way faster than any real court, when a story is this compelling and the accusations are this damaging, how much does that word, unverified, actually matter to the millions of people who hear it?